Hey YouTube, it's Alicia Bird and I'm back and I wanted to do this quick thing. At first I wanted to talk about storyways, but then I decided not to. But I want to talk about Dambert Lambert. Anybody know that he owns this American Top Team and thing? And so if you remember about a month or so ago, Dambert Lambert Bobby Lashley started inviting the top team to TNA IMPAC. All right, I understand he's not getting title belt shot. He don't have to always got that title belt shot. So I just felt like Denver Lambert was there to poach. Anybody when I say poach, I mean poaching some of the superstars, but the one in particular, Bobby Lashley. Okay, Denver Lambert for the last few weeks has gotten on my freaking nerve. I might not know much about UFC or MMA, but something about his students looks kind of funny, and it starts with an S and end with a D. I just don't want to get in so much into that particular part, but this started when Bobby Lashley was considering to go back to MMA and UFC, and he was a wrestler, and Denver Lambert to me kind of poached him to come, not approach, but poached him to come back, and I just like, what is the world wrong with this old geezer? Now, Stefan Bonner, I have heard of him for years now. I have heard he was one of the top UFC superstars, and I feel like Moose did call the right somebody. So let me just tell you how I feel how it started. It started back in Mexico. The thing between Moose and Lashley started back in Mexico. And in Mexico, the one thing that I felt like what went down was Bobby Lashley was eliminated. And he was eliminated by Moose. And he said, "You supposed to be on my team." That was a gauntlet match. So it was every man for himself. So to me, I just feel, why you think you're entitled? At one point in time, excuse me, y'all. At one point in time, that Bobby Lashley was a successful TNA super. He was a successful TNA superstar. That's one. A successful TNA superstar. A successful TNA superstar. A successful WWE superstar. And then you went to MMA. MMA. Now, to me, he had got it to support for me for so many years, but I wasn't going to allow Bobby Lashley to run his mouth. To me, when you left, you in the top team disrespecting a great football player. Now, I'm going to say this. Wrestlers and football players are associated. The reason I say they are associated is this. One, think of how many wrestlers used to be football players. Think of how many wrestlers there used to be football players. You got Patman Jones. He did about 2 to 3 years in TNA. You got none other, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who also was a football player. You got Jay and Jimmy Uso, football players. High school football players turned into wrestler. Roman Reigns, football player, turned into wrestler. Mojo Rawley, football player, turned into a football player. Now you got you a WWE US champion. Brian Connor, football player, turned into wrestler. So what give none other than Lambert. And I'm going to say this. The first time Moose went there, he shouldn't have went alone. Tonight, it should have been Moose, Stan, and Stefan Bonner with some football players, or get the strongest guys in TNA. And Dan Lambert trying to say he's going to destroy TNA. Nah, bro. Nah, bro, it won't happen. Not if any of them got anything to say about it. Not any of them got anything to say about it. So my thing is, one, Bobby Lashley got mad because he got eliminated in Mexico. You thought you were going to go in and win. That didn't happen. Moose eliminated you. But what happened, you came back and you pulled Moose out and y'all ended up fighting. Moose, therefore, still wasn't eliminated. Bobby Lashley, you got into your feelings because, number one, now you ain't there no more. Moose, and what Moose did to the top team, I don't condone Moose Neal going back and what they did, but Bobby Lashley and the top team, when he left, disrespected Moose. When you bite, like they say, let me see how I can say it. When you bite the croc, the hands that feed, the croc is will attack. So by croc, I mean a crocodile. When you bite the crocodile, when you hit a crocodile is going to bite. So Moose is the crocodile. Bobby Lashley messed up and hit the wrong person. So now Moose is jumping on your butt because he's biting back. So, like I said, Moose was disrespected. I am on Moose's side on certain parts of it. But taking their trophies to get their attention, you got their attention. You got their attention. That's one. Now, Dan Lambert, how he get these trophies? How he get all these title belts? Who is selling these title belts to him? He should have, several names should have never came out of his mouth. Bartino, he's associated with WWE. That should not have came out of his mouth. The Road Warriors, associated with the WWE. That should have came out of his mouth. So Dan Lambert's finna get ready to get a lawsuit from WWE. And I know TNA didn't have nothing to do with this. And Dan Lambert trying to say he's going to destroy IMPAC. I hope that is not true. Because number one, Dan Lambert, you bit the like I'm saying, you bit the crocodile. Now the crocodile is fighting back. One, you came after months ago. You came after none other than Jeff Jarrett. You came after Jeff Jarrett. You came after Jeff Jarrett. That's one. You went after Jeff Jarrett. That shouldn't have happened. And Jeff Jarrett is no longer there. So I will say like this, Dan Lambert, you trying to say you're going to destroy professional wrestling? You messing with the wrong people, because I wouldn't be too surprised that any wrestler who's not none other who is formal TNA wrestlers, formal WWE wrestlers will not mind coming together and whooping your butt. I would not. I just wanted to come and give y'all my point of view on this. But like I'm saying, some lines has been crossed. Bobby Lashley did cross some lines. Moose has crossed the lines. But Bobby Lashley crossed the biggest line. And the question is, who crossed the biggest line first? I feel like Dan Lambert, you crossed the biggest line. Bobby Lashley, you crossed the biggest line. I feel like Moose only crossed a small line, but Bobby Lashley and this is a feud between Moose and Bobby Lashley. So Dan Lambert, you should have waited before getting him in your studio, in your gym, before this feud is over. So I promise you, you have made a big mistake and biting messing with the wrestling world. So I think all of the wrestling, everybody who's in on independent wrestlers is high alert. Is high on alert. I know WWE is high on alert, and TNA is high on alert in New Japan, and Mexico is on high alert because I consider this with Dan Lambert is I feel like he's a threat, but I feel like Dan Lambert and Bobby Lashley has crossed the line. And so the question of the day is, do you think Dan Lambert has in the beginning crossed the line? So that's the question of the day, of the night. So y'all don't forget to thumbs up this video, comment below, and